Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome for joining us here on Wake Up Charlotte to Go. I'm Ben Thompson, of course, joined by Sarah French, like usual. And this morning we are happy to have with us Adam Johnson. He is the Director of Transportation for CMS. It's a big job these days that has taken on a lot more responsibility than perhaps it has in the past. Adam's going to be taking your questions and our questions as well over the next 10 minutes if you have any for him. So let us know. You can leave the comments there in the section, and we'll be reading them out loud. Worth noting that he is a former bus driver himself, began at the age of 19. So his career has taken him the full arc. He's seen this from probably every angle possible. Also with Union County at one point as well. Adam, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Go ahead. We talk about it on a almost everyday basis about the job shortage when it comes to bus drivers and many other industries. When it comes to specifically CMS, what is the problem you're seeing, and how dire is it when it comes to finding good people to drive these school buses?
And thank you both for having me this morning. It absolutely will help kind of shine a light on what we're doing on a daily basis here in the district. And you're absolutely right. You can't go a few feet down the road, whatever highway you're traveling, and see help wanted signs. And people are offering higher sign on bonuses, increasing hourly wages. So it just makes it that much more difficult for all of us, kind of trying to recruit hourly workers to get good people in. Now, drivers of school buses certainly have a lot more responsibility than your traditional hourly job. I mean, there's so many things that they have to go through with drug testing, background checks, licensure, DOT physicals. They run the gamut of things that they're responsible for before they can actually get behind the wheel and drive kids. So we really are looking for good people that can really take on that responsibility. And I'm sure you guys know as well, driving through Charlotte traffic. And I've been driving a bus here since school has started, pretty much just about on a daily basis, with the exception of the past couple of days. It's a daunting task when you're thinking of all the kids that you're transporting and kind of navigating Charlotte traffic. So it is a difficult process. We're starting to see things slowly turn around for us as we're getting an increase in applications and those interested in driving a bus. So we're looking for that light at the end of the tunnel.
CMS recently raised the starting salary for drivers to $17.75. Did the salary increase entice more people to apply, and how many vacancies do you have now?
Absolutely. Great question. The uptick since the pay structure was released at the last school board meeting, we received 66 new applications in the past week and a half. So super excited about that. Um, about 12 of those applications were drivers that are already licensed. So that speeds the process along for them. So they can just actually go through a background check, drug testing, physical, and then they're ready to get behind the wheel because they've had driving experience. So we're excited to have those people join us. We just had a bus class start yesterday with 23 hopefuls in that group. We have another class starting next week, November the 1st. So there is still time. If you're interested, you put your application in between today and Friday. We will get you in that next class, which does start Monday the 1st.
Give us some tangible, real world issues here. This shortage. What is it keeping you from being able to do for CMS and the students out there?
Yeah, so clearly the most important sort of takeaway is that we're not able to get students at all times on time, whether that's to school or from school. Certainly our primary focus is in the morning because we want to make sure that they can get to school in enough time to eat breakfast, get prepared for their learning day. And the afternoon, it's a little more of a challenge just because timing is a little bit different and we don't have as many afternoon drivers as morning drivers. So the afternoons are a little more of a challenge for us. But again, the kind of biggest hurdle is just the timing, making sure that we can get kids picked up and get them to school in a timely manner so they can be prepared for their day.
So I know as a parent, I think we're seeing this all over the place where I get the alert, your kid's bus is going to be replaced by bus number whatever. And within the first week, I know my daughter's school bus driver, she either left or quit or something. So Are you seeing bus drivers leave at a rapid pace right now? And is that because of the pandemic, or why are we seeing that so much this year?
So that has definitely slowed down. In early into the school year, so late August, early September, we did see drivers that were leaving us, and primarily it was for higher wages and other jobs. There's a lot of hourly kind of employment out there, and it's the job seekers market. So they can really dictate where they go, get maybe a higher sign-on bonus. They can get more of an hourly wage. And again, it just kind of, you guys have kind of hit it right on the head that the stress of being a school bus driver is quite a bit. So they could take a job that maybe is less stressful and for more pay. So that's why it was so important for us to not only implement a sign-on bonus of $1,000. We were able to get a retention bonus of $1,000 for our veteran drivers, and this pay structure revision that we've done to raise our pay to $17.75 an hour, as well as recognize our veteran drivers who have stayed with us throughout the pandemic, and they're here running every day as hard as they can, running 2 and 3 extra routes on top of what they're normally assigned. We're trying to do that just to say we value you because you are the ones that are making this happen. So yeah, and Sarah, certainly sorry we had some bus substitutions, but that does happen early on, just so we can try to make things. So much of this unfortunately happens on the fly, so we're making course corrections, like in the minute, just to get kids picked up or get kids taken home.
Yeah, totally understandable. I know you guys are doing the
We're
best
getting
you
better.
can.
We are getting better. I promise.
Give us a sense, because I think what it comes down to for parents and teachers and students, no matter who it is does this shortage impact the health and safety of students in any way? And how are you making sure that despite the shortage of drivers, that student safety is not being compromised?
Absolutely. Great question. I think the one thing that parents probably weren't that they weren't thinking of, even though we kind of publicized it quite a bit over the summer, there are no more restrictions to seating capacity. If you all remember last year, when we were transporting through the pandemic, then we usually had 1 student per seat. So now there were no restrictions left on the buses. So I'm sure kids are coming home, or maybe parents that are out at the stops see the buses certainly more full than they've been in the past. And that was one of the other ways that we were able to sort of work around the shortages that we were experiencing by reducing the number of buses that we had on the road. We did more than 100 buses we pulled off the road, just to really consolidate and tighten things up as best we could to reduce the number of bus drivers needed. So what that did in turn was increase the capacities on the buses. However, drivers are still following the same cleaning procedures that we did all during the 2021 school year. Buses are sanitized twice a day. Drivers wipe the seats down when needed. They've provided all the proper PPE, but this is a perfect time to remind parents, please send your students to the bus stop with a mask. We do provide masks on the bus if the kids forget them. Many of the times I was driving over the past couple of months, a lot of kids would still come to the bus without their mask, and I would, give one out to them. So we do have those available, but it just speeds up the boarding process when the kids come with their masks. All students are wearing them, and the bus can kind of proceed on their way quickly and get them to school on time. So we're still following all of those safety measures to keep kids safe while they're riding the bus, as well as keeping the drivers safe.
So I have a 2-part question here. If someone watching, if they're interested in maybe being a bus driver, what do they need to do? And then after they apply, what does that process and training look like for them?
Okay, great questions. So the easiest way to get to us, certainly through our CMS website, there's a banner at the top of the homepage to apply for being a bus driver. But you can also call our main transportation numbers 980-343-6715. We will help you through the process and kind of get you signed up. So the process, once you're in the application queue, we check your driver record first just to make sure that you are eligible to get a commercial driver's license and the proper endorsements, which would be a P for passenger and the S for the school bus. The sort of difficult part for us is because of the length of time needed, it's about a 52-day process from the time that you actually apply. And I think that's good for the public to know as well. It's not just that somebody can apply, come in, and we get them started to work next week, unless they're already licensed, and have their commercial license. So for a brand new person, it is a little bit of a daunting task because it's about, 52 days from the time they start to the time they're actually ready to work and transport kids. But it is necessary just because there's a lot of background checks, drug testing, and training that goes into hiring, qualified drivers to drive our kids. So while it is a lengthy process, we are able to hire drivers once they pass their class and get their permits. We do hire them here in the district as trainees, so they're paid for their training time to get them kind of through and get them hired to start driving kids. So it is a little bit of a lengthy process for brand new folks, but it is well worth it once you get in and working with the district. A lot of good benefits, paid time off, health care, things of that nature. So lots of things to really entice people to work with us, and we're hopeful that that will continue that uptick that we've seen over the past couple of weeks.
All right, folks. You have heard the pitch that he's made. It helped him.
Ben, if I could make it any better, Ben, help me out, because we are trying to get the pitch going.
Help him, help all of our families and students get to school on time, safely, and again on time. Adam Johnson, Director of Transportation for CMS, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. And
Yes,
folks watching this, if you know anybody, if you yourself, keep in mind they've increased pay twice in the last few months. So they're looking for you. Make sure to contact CMS and Adam, and might get you a job. Adam, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you both. I really appreciate the opportunity. It helps kind of get the message out. And so I'm very thankful that you guys allowed me on. Thank you much.
Sure
Adam,
thing.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.